quiet truth hides behind many closed doors, and most people never stop long enough to notice it. Society often celebrates the people who are always out, always social, always surrounded by noise and activity. Meanwhile, the woman who chooses the comfort of her own home is often misunderstood. Some assume she is lonely. Some believe she lacks confidence. Others see her preference for solitude as a sign that something is missing from her life. Yet beneath that assumption lies a reality that is far more fascinating. Many women who deeply love staying at home are not running away from the world at all. In fact, they may be experiencing the world more intensely than everyone around them. These women are often empaths. They absorb emotions without trying. They notice tension before a word is spoken. They feel the mood of a room the moment they enter it. They pick up on sadness hidden behind smiles and stress concealed beneath polite conversations. While most people move through the day filtering out emotional information, empaths take much of it in. Over time, that emotional weight becomes exhausting. What appears to others as a simple trip, a casual gathering, or an ordinary conversation can require a surprising amount of mental and emotional energy. This is why many female empaths naturally find themselves drawn toward the peace and safety of home. Not because they dislike people, not because they are antisocial, and certainly not because they are weak. Home offers something that the outside world rarely provides. It offers stillness. It offers emotional quiet. It offers a place where their nervous system can finally stop scanning, processing, and absorbing everything around it. What makes this even more interesting is that many female empaths spend years feeling misunderstood because of this preference. They are told they are too sensitive, too emotional, too withdrawn, too different. Yet psychology reveals a very different story. In many cases, their desire for solitude is not a flaw. It is a form of self-protection. It is a way of preserving their energy in a world that constantly demands more from them than people realize. Throughout this video, you will discover why female empaths often feel safer at home than in crowded environments, why they need more recovery time than most people, how their brains process emotional experiences differently, and why their love for solitude is often connected to strengths that remain invisible to others. You will also learn several surprising psychological traits shared by many female empaths, including patterns that even they may not fully understand about themselves. And near the end of this video, we will uncover one of the most powerful reasons female empaths choose peace over constant social activity. A reason that changes the way many people view solitude forever. So stay with us until the end, because each piece of this puzzle reveals a deeper truth about empathy, emotional sensitivity, and the hidden psychology behind women who genuinely enjoy staying at home. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Here we explore psychology, human behavior, emotional intelligence, and the hidden patterns that shape our lives. Subscribe now and join us as we uncover the fascinating psychology of female empaths who love staying at home. One of the biggest reasons many female empaths love staying at home begins with a simple fact that most people never fully understand. They feel everything more deeply than most people around them. While others may walk through a busy day barely noticing the emotional atmosphere around them, an empath is constantly picking up information that often goes unnoticed. A slight change in someone's tone, a forced smile hiding frustration, a tense silence between two people, the nervous energy in a crowded room, the sadness behind someone's eyes. These details do not simply register in the empath's mind, they affect her. This deeper level of emotional sensitivity is one of the defining traits of an empath. Many people experience emotions mainly through their own personal experiences. They feel happy because something good happened to them. They feel stressed because of their own problems. They feel hurt because someone disappointed them. Female empaths often experience a second layer of emotional awareness. Along with their own emotions, they are constantly sensing and absorbing the emotional states of people around them. Even when nobody says a word, they can often feel when something is wrong. Even when everyone else seems relaxed, they may notice tension quietly building beneath the surface. This creates a unique psychological experience that can become exhausting over time. Imagine carrying not only your own emotions but also pieces of everyone else's throughout the day. Eventually, the emotional load becomes heavy. A female empath may leave a gathering feeling drained without fully understanding why. She may spend time with people she genuinely cares about and still feel emotionally exhausted afterward. She may walk into a workplace, a family event, or a social gathering and immediately sense the stress, frustration, anxiety, excitement, or sadness present in the environment. Her mind is constantly receiving emotional information. Her nervous system is constantly processing it. Many people assume that emotional sensitivity is simply about crying easily or being sentimental. In reality, it often goes much deeper. Emotional sensitivity means being highly aware of subtle emotional shifts that other people miss. It means noticing the discomfort behind someone's laughter. It means sensing conflict before it becomes visible. It means feeling emotional tension even when nobody is openly discussing it. This heightened awareness can be both a gift and a burden. It helps female empaths build deep relationships and understand people on a profound level. But it also means they rarely get a break from emotional stimulation when they are around others. This is why many female empaths often describe feeling tired after spending time in busy environments. The fatigue is not always physical, it is emotional. Their minds have been working constantly. Their emotions have been processing constantly. Their attention has been scanning constantly. By the time they return home, they may feel as though they have carried an invisible weight all day long. One reason this emotional fatigue develops is because empaths tend to absorb stress from others without realizing it. A stressed coworker can affect their mood. A frustrated friend can leave them feeling uneasy. A family member's anxiety can linger in their thoughts long after the conversation ends. Many female empaths spend years believing these emotions belong entirely to them. They may suddenly feel overwhelmed, irritated, or emotionally heavy without realizing they have absorbed some of the emotional atmosphere surrounding them. Over time, this creates a powerful need for recovery. Home becomes the place where that recovery finally happens. Home is where the emotional noise begins to fade. Home is where they can separate their own feelings from the feelings they have collected throughout the day. Home allows them to reconnect with themselves after spending hours connected to everyone else. This is one reason why many female empaths genuinely enjoy being at home. It is not simply about comfort. It is about emotional restoration. The home environment often gives them permission to stop absorbing. It gives them permission to stop monitoring. It gives them permission to stop carrying emotional energy that does not belong to them. This naturally leads to another important reason female empaths are drawn toward staying home. Home feels safe because it is predictable. Most people underestimate how much energy uncertainty requires. For an empath, uncertainty often means more emotional information to process. Every new environment introduces new personalities, new moods, new social expectations, and new emotional dynamics. Even when nothing negative happens, the empath's mind remains active. It pays attention, it observes, it evaluates, it absorbs. Crowded environments can be especially challenging because they create what could be called emotional noise. Every person brings their own emotions, concerns, frustrations, expectations, and energy into the space. Most people filter much of this out automatically. Female empaths often struggle to ignore it. Their attention naturally picks up these emotional signals. A crowded shopping center, a busy event, or a large social gathering may appear perfectly normal from the outside. Yet internally it can feel overwhelming. Their minds are receiving far more information than people realize. This is why many female empaths feel a sense of relief when they return home. The environment becomes familiar. The emotional variables decrease. The uncertainty decreases. Their nervous system no longer needs to remain on high alert. At home, there are fewer surprises. The environment is known. The routines are familiar. The atmosphere is easier to control. This predictability creates a powerful psychological effect. The brain begins to relax. The constant scanning starts to slow down. Emotional vigilance decreases. Many female empaths are not consciously thinking about every emotional detail around them. Much of this process happens automatically. Their brains simply remain alert to emotional information. When they enter a predictable environment, that automatic alertness can finally ease. This creates a sense of peace that is difficult to explain to people who do not experience the world in the same way. Some people seek excitement and constant activity because novelty energizes them. Many female empaths seek peace because predictability restores them. Unexpected social interactions also require significant mental energy. A simple conversation may involve much more processing than others realize. While speaking with someone, an empath may be noticing facial expressions, tone changes, emotional undertones, hidden concerns, and unspoken feelings all at the same time. This deep level of awareness can make social interactions meaningful, but it also makes them tiring. After several hours of social engagement, even enjoyable social engagement, the empath often feels mentally and emotionally full. She may need quiet time not because the interaction was negative, but because her mind needs space to recover from the constant flow of emotional information. Home provides that space. Home allows her to exist without constantly interpreting emotional signals. Home becomes a place where she can simply be present. This is one reason female empaths are often misunderstood. Many people mistake them for introverts. While there can certainly be overlap, being an empath is not exactly the same as being introverted. An introvert typically loses energy through social interaction and gains energy through solitude. An empath may genuinely enjoy people, relationships, and meaningful conversations. In fact, not many female empaths love connecting with others on a deep emotional level. They enjoy understanding people. They enjoy helping people. They enjoy forming close bonds. The difference is that their emotional involvement tends to be much deeper than average. Because they connect so deeply, they often absorb more emotional information than most people during those interactions. This creates the need for recovery afterward. Many female empaths can spend hours engaged in heartfelt conversations. They can be warm, compassionate, and socially skilled. They can enjoy spending time with friends and family. Yet once the interaction ends, they often need solitude. People who do not understand this may assume the empath is pulling away or becoming distant. In reality, she is simply recharging. Her need for solitude is not a rejection of others. It is emotional maintenance. Just as the body needs rest after physical activity, the empath's mind needs rest after emotional activity. This distinction is important because many female empaths spend years feeling guilty about their need for alone time. They worry that others will misunderstand them. They worry that people will see them as antisocial. Yet their solitude often has nothing to do with disliking people. It has everything to do with protecting their emotional balance. The misunderstanding becomes even greater because female empaths often appear highly social when they choose to engage. They can be excellent listeners. They can make others feel understood. They can create deep emotional connections very quickly. People may assume that because they are capable of these interactions, they should want them constantly. What others fail to see is the recovery period that follows. The empath may need hours of quiet afterward. She may need time alone with her thoughts. She may need space where nobody expects anything from her emotionally. This recovery period is often invisible to the outside world, yet it is essential to her well-being. One of the most fascinating aspects of female empaths is what happens during that time alone. While many people move on quickly from daily experiences, empaths often continue processing them long after they happen. They replay conversations. They reflect on interactions. They think about how people felt. They analyze subtle moments others may have forgotten entirely. A conversation that lasted 10 minutes may remain in an empath's mind for days, not because she is obsessed, not because she is anxious, but because her mind naturally searches for emotional meaning. She wants to understand. She wants to connect the pieces. She wants to make sense of what happened beneath the surface. This tendency to process emotions deeply is another reason home feels so important. At home, the empath finally has the space to sort through everything she has collected. The emotions, the conversations, the observations, the concerns, the questions, the experiences. All of it begins to settle. Many female empaths use solitude as a form of emotional organization. Their minds quietly review what they experienced throughout the day. They reflect on people's behavior. They consider different perspectives. They search for deeper understanding. While others may see isolation, the empath is often doing significant emotional work internally. This internal processing can sometimes surprise people who are not naturally empathetic. They may wonder why the empath still thinks about a conversation long after everyone else has forgotten it. They may wonder why she notices details that seemed insignificant. The answer lies in how deeply she experiences emotional information. Small moments often carry meaning. Brief interactions often leave impressions. Subtle emotional signals often remain stored in her memory. Home provides the environment where she can process these impressions without interruption. Many female empaths discover that some of their greatest insights emerge during these quiet periods alone. Once the noise of the outside world fades, their thoughts become clearer, their emotions become easier to understand, their intuition becomes stronger. Connections begin to appear between experiences that initially seemed unrelated. This is why solitude often feels productive rather than lonely for an empath. She is not simply sitting alone. She is processing, reflecting, understanding, and reconnecting with herself. The quiet environment gives her mind room to work through emotions that might otherwise remain unresolved. Another reason many female empaths are naturally drawn toward staying at home is because home protects them from emotional overload. While most people notice drama, conflict, negativity, and social pressure, empaths often feel these things at a much deeper level. What may seem like a small disagreement to one person can feel emotionally exhausting to an empath. What appears to be harmless gossip can create tension in their minds long after everyone else has forgotten about it. What seems like ordinary negativity can quietly drain their energy throughout the day. This happens because empaths are highly affected by emotional environments. They do not simply observe emotional energy around them. They absorb it, they carry it, they process it. In many cases, they continue carrying it even after they leave the situation behind. A toxic interaction that another person forgets within an hour may stay in an empath's mind for days. They replay the conversation. They think about what was said. They analyze the emotions involved. They wonder why the conflict happened. They question whether someone was hurt. They search for understanding. Their minds rarely dismiss emotional experiences quickly. Instead, those experiences often continue echoing beneath the surface long after the moment has passed. This is one reason social environments can sometimes feel overwhelming for female empaths. They are not only dealing with what is happening directly to them, they are often processing what is happening between everyone else as well. They notice tension between friends. They notice hidden resentment between coworkers. They notice frustration behind forced smiles. They notice emotional discomfort that others pretend does not exist. Because they are constantly aware of these emotional undercurrents, being around conflict can become exhausting. Even when they are not directly involved, they still feel the emotional atmosphere surrounding it. A room filled with stress can affect them. A negative conversation can affect them. A hostile environment can affect them. Over time, this creates a strong desire for emotional safety. Home often becomes the place where that safety exists. Inside their own space, many female empaths finally experience relief. The emotional pressure begins to fade. The outside world's demands become quieter. The constant exposure to other people's emotions decreases. Their minds stop working overtime. Their nervous systems stop preparing for emotional surprises. Home acts as an emotional shield. It creates distance between the empath and the emotional chaos that often exists in the outside world. This does not mean they are hiding from life. It means they are protecting their mental and emotional well-being. Just as someone protects their physical health by resting when they are tired, an empath protects their emotional health by creating space away from emotional overload. Many people underestimate how much emotional pressure exists in daily life. Social expectations, workplace stress, family dynamics, online negativity, and constant communication can slowly wear down even emotionally strong individuals. For empaths, this pressure often feels magnified. Their minds process emotional information more deeply and for longer periods of time. Because of this, they require recovery. Home becomes the environment where that recovery can happen naturally. The nervous system finally begins to reset. The mind slows down. Emotional tension starts leaving the body. Many female empaths describe this feeling as finally being able to breathe again. The moment they close the door behind them, they feel lighter. Not because they dislike people, but because they are no longer carrying everyone's emotions at once. What makes this even more interesting is that many female empaths genuinely enjoy being alone. This is often misunderstood by people who associate solitude with loneliness. For an empath, solitude and loneliness are not the same thing. Loneliness feels like an absence. Solitude feels like nourishment. Many female empaths have rich inner worlds that keep them deeply engaged even when nobody else is around. They are often highly reflective individuals who enjoy exploring their thoughts and emotions. Their minds rarely remain still. They are constantly learning, imagining, creating, questioning, and discovering new perspectives. Because of this, they do not depend on constant social interaction to feel fulfilled. Many female empaths are naturally creative. Creativity often becomes an outlet for the emotions they experience so deeply. Some enjoy writing, some enjoy reading, some enjoy art, music, crafting, journaling, or personal projects. Others simply enjoy thinking. Their imagination becomes a place where ideas grow and emotions find expression. While some people need constant activity to feel stimulated, empaths often find stimulation within their own minds. Hours can pass while they are reflecting on life, exploring new ideas, reading meaningful books, or simply sitting quietly with their thoughts. These activities do not bore them, they energize them. Their inner world is often far richer than people realize. While others focus primarily on external experiences, empaths spend a significant amount of time exploring their internal experiences. They think deeply about relationships. They think deeply about purpose. Think deeply about human behavior. They notice patterns. They make connections. They seek understanding. This depth of thought creates a level of engagement that many people never see from the outside. A female empath sitting alone at home may appear inactive to others, yet internally she may be exploring ideas, emotions, memories, dreams, and possibilities that keep her fully engaged. This ability to enjoy their own company is one reason many female empaths are less dependent on external validation than people assume. They do not always need constant attention to feel valuable. They do not need to be surrounded by people every moment of the day. They can spend time alone without feeling abandoned, because they genuinely enjoy the relationship they have with themselves. This is a powerful quality that often develops over time. As they become more comfortable with their own thoughts, they discover that solitude can be deeply rewarding. It becomes a place where they reconnect with their values, their creativity, and their emotional balance. Many female empaths also enjoy dreaming about possibilities. They think about future goals. They think about personal growth. They think about relationships and experiences they hope to create. Their imagination allows them to explore life beyond the limits of their immediate surroundings. This imaginative nature often makes solitude feel productive rather than empty. While others may see inactivity, the empath is often engaged in meaningful internal work. Her mind remains active. Her curiosity remains active. Her creativity remains active. Because of these differences, many female empaths grow up feeling different from other people. From an early age, they often notice that they react more strongly to situations than others seem to. They care deeply about things that others dismiss. They think deeply about things that others overlook. They feel deeply about experiences that others move past quickly. This can create a sense of isolation during childhood and adolescence. Many female empaths remember hearing phrases that made them question themselves. They were told they were too sensitive. They were told they were overthinking. They were told they took things too personally. They were told to stop being emotional. Over time, these messages can create confusion because the empath begins to wonder why her experiences seem so different from everyone else's. What many people fail to understand is that sensitivity is not weakness. Sensitivity is awareness. Empaths simply notice and process more emotional information than average. Yet because society often rewards emotional toughness and constant social activity, many empaths feel pressure to become someone they are not. They try to fit into environments that drain them. They push themselves into social situations that leave them exhausted. They ignore their own emotional needs in order to meet other people's expectations. For a period of time, this may seem manageable. But eventually, the emotional cost becomes impossible to ignore. As female empaths mature, many begin recognizing a pattern. The environments that leave them exhausted are often the environments that require them to suppress who they truly are. The situations that drain them are often the situations where they feel misunderstood. The relationships that overwhelm them are often the relationships where their sensitivity is treated as a problem instead of a strength. Slowly, they begin making different choices. They stop forcing themselves into spaces that constantly deplete their energy. They stop chasing approval from people who do not understand them. They begin creating lives that support their emotional well-being instead of constantly challenging it. Home becomes an important part of this transformation. Home becomes the place where they no longer have to explain themselves. It becomes the place where they no longer have to pretend to be less sensitive than they really are. It becomes the place where they can think freely, feel freely, and exist freely. Many female empaths describe a sense of relief when they are alone because they are finally able to be fully authentic. There is no pressure to perform, no pressure to compete, no pressure to impress, no pressure to hide their emotional depth. They can simply be themselves. This leads to one of the most important truths about female empaths who love staying at home. Their preference for home is often not avoidance at all. It is self-respect. Many people assume that staying home means missing out on life. They assume that choosing solitude means fear. But for many empaths, the choice is rooted in self-awareness. They understand what drains them. They understand what restores them. They know which environments leave them emotionally depleted and which environments help them feel balanced. That knowledge allows them to make choices that protect their well-being. There is wisdom in recognizing your limits. There is wisdom in understanding your emotional needs. Female empaths often learn this lesson through experience. After years of feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, or misunderstood, they begin paying attention to what genuinely brings them peace. They stop viewing self-care as selfish. They stop viewing solitude as a weakness. They stop measuring their worth by how socially active they appear. Instead, they focus on creating a life that feels emotionally healthy and meaningful. This mindset often surprises people who live for attention, popularity, or constant activity. Female empaths frequently value depth more than visibility. They value meaningful conversations more than large crowds. They value authentic relationships more than social status. They value emotional peace more than endless stimulation. Their choices are not based on fear of life. Their choices are based on understanding themselves. They recognize that not every invitation deserves a yes. Not every opportunity deserves their energy. Not every social expectation deserves their participation. As they grow older, many female empaths become increasingly selective about where they invest their time and attention. They choose peace over noise. They choose emotional balance over social pressure. They choose environments that support their well-being instead of environments that constantly challenge it. They learn that protecting their energy is not selfish. It is necessary. They learn that rest is not laziness. It is recovery. They learn that solitude is not isolation. It is renewal. And with every choice they make to honor their emotional needs, they move closer to a life that feels authentic, balanced, and deeply meaningful. As we come to the end of this journey, a clearer picture begins to emerge. Female empaths experience life differently from most people. They feel deeply. They absorb emotions that others barely notice. They spend time processing experiences that many people quickly forget. They carefully protect their energy because they understand how easily it can be drained. They find comfort in solitude because it gives them the peace their minds and hearts need. And perhaps most importantly, they value emotional balance in a world that often rewards constant noise, constant activity, and constant stimulation. What many people call antisocial behavior is often something very different. It is not fear. It is not weakness. It is not an inability to connect with others. In many cases, it is a sign of deep self-awareness. Female empaths know that every environment affects them. Every relationship affects them. Every emotional experience leaves an imprint. Because of this, they learn to be careful about where they invest their time, attention, and energy. The female empath does not stay home because she has nothing to do. She stays home because she understands something many people spend their entire lives trying to learn. Energy is precious. Peace is precious. Mental clarity is precious. and not every invitation deserves access to her emotional world. She knows that constantly giving without rest leads to exhaustion. She knows that constantly absorbing without recovery leads to overwhelm, so she chooses differently. She chooses spaces that restore her instead of deplete her. She chooses environments where she can breathe, reflect, and reconnect with herself. The strongest female empaths are not hiding from life. They are protecting the very qualities that make them special. Their compassion, their kindness, their sensitivity, their ability to love deeply and understand people on a level that many never reach. In a world that often encourages people to become harder, colder, and more disconnected, female empaths continue choosing softness. They continue choosing understanding. They continue choosing authenticity. And that takes far more strength than most people realize. Sometimes the most powerful place an empath can be is not in the center of attention. It is not in the loudest room. It is not where everyone else expects her to be. Sometimes the most powerful place an empath can be is exactly where she feels most at peace. A place where her mind can rest. A place where her heart can heal. A place where she can simply be herself without apology, at home. If this video resonated with you, or if you recognized yourself or someone you love in these signs, let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoy exploring psychology, empathy, human behavior, and the hidden patterns that shape our lives, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our next video. Don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who might need to hear this message today. Until next time, take care of your energy, protect your peace, and remember that understanding yourself is one of the greatest strengths you can ever develop.